Well, I'm wondering if I should pack up all my toys and go home. I had a bit of a scary experience last night, and I can't believe that it's happened so soon. So I'm in bed last night, and I'm in my pajamas, and the wind starts up, and I could hear my awning flapping around. And the wind progressively was getting worse, and I thought, oh gosh, I got to get out there and get it down. It was about 10:30 at night, and I thought, I'm not going to sleep hearing that, and I'm going to be worried that it's going to get torn up, with the wind. So I thought, okay, Victoria, you got to get out there and get it down. And I've only taken it down once before, and I end up doing this in the dark, so I'm like, I have to get out there and do this in the dark. Okay, come on, just do it, So I get out there and I start taking it down, and I was able to do it. I'm getting it done, and I'm almost finished when all of a sudden this car pulled up, and I thought they were just going to continue on down the road and keep going, take the turn and then go down the hill here to exit. But they didn't. They stopped right in front of me, and headlights glaring into my face, and they stopped. And I thought, wait a second, really fast thinking, your thoughts go through your head so quickly, and I'm thinking there's no good reason that somebody's here parking. So I quickly scrambled into my rig and locked the door. And then the next thing I hear is some man out there who sounded like he was, I don't know, out of it, drunk, on drugs, I don't know what. He sounded like an older guy, and he's like, hey friend, are you there? Hey friend. And I'm like, what do you want? And I said that in a really gruff voice. What do you want? Trying to make myself sound like a man. And then he says, I just want to go home. And I'm like, well, just take the road down here to the I'm thinking that he literally wanted to get home and he was lost, right? So I said, just take a left and go around the corner. and he said, I can't hear you. And I'm thinking, I'm not going to open my door and, talk to you, buddy. It's 10:30 at night, and I don't want him to see that I'm by myself, And so I decided the best thing to do was just to stop talking, and hopefully he would go away. Well, several minutes passed by, and I hear him out there grumbling and talking and not leaving. And so the next thing I thought of to do was to scream as loud as I possibly could. I'm actually kind of isolated here where I'm at. I'm tucked away in a part of the campground where there's no one around me. The nearest camper is pretty far away from me. And so I let out this blood-curdling scream, and I'm thinking either that's going to scare him off, or it's going to alert a neighbor that something's wrong. Or maybe this guy will think I'm crazy. So I'm listening after I screamed, and I hear running footsteps. So it sounded like the guy was going back to his car maybe. And then he heard my scream. So he comes running up. He said, are you okay in there? Are you okay? Did you hear that? It was kind of comical, actually, because I don't think he was quite sure if it came from me. And I said, we're fine in here. We're fine. And then I didn't say anything more. And then finally I hear him take off in a big hurry, So I guess my scream worked. I forgot about the fact that I have with me inside my rig one of these personal alarms. But if I had pulled that out, I think I would have caused myself to go deaf. There's a pin you pull out and it makes a super loud sound. And I thought, if I do that, I'm going to make myself deaf because it's like going to reverberate inside my rig. So anyway, I think my scream did the trick, got him to leave. So I drove around this morning and around the campground trying to see if it was somebody, that is staying here. And I didn't see anybody that looked like it could, because I didn't get a good look at him or the car, but I was just looking around to see if I could see what other kinds of campers are here. And I didn't see anybody. There was a homeless looking lady staying in a open truck. She's right over there, actually, with stuff all over her campsite. But it wasn't her. It was definitely a man. So anyways, needless to say, it took me a long time to get to sleep last night, and I kept thinking, I wonder if I should just leave. I'm just so discouraged that something like this would happen so quickly. I did camping up in Oregon and Washington at free campgrounds, and I encountered a lot of homeless and mentally ill people. I'm like, wow, this is not feeling very safe, and then I've stayed at state parks, and while those feel safer, you deal with a lot of noise, just partying and noise and screaming and kids and dogs and so loud. And so I thought, well, that's not so great either. And so then I've stayed at the expensive Thousand Trails, and I felt the safest there, because people, they're paying a lot of money. So, it's going to have, what do you say, people that are not in a desperate situation, let's just put it that way. And so I felt safe there at the Thousand Trails, but you're living on top of each other. So I booked these campgrounds on this trip thinking that, okay, they're paid campgrounds. It should weed out some of the homeless, unsavory types, or like even mentally ill or drug-addled people. But like I said, I've already seen a couple of homeless people living here, so it's still the situation that people come and stay at these low-cost campgrounds as well. So it's discouraging, to say the least, because now I'm thinking, is there anywhere that I'm going to feel safe other than a really expensive paid campground? It's just challenging as a solo female to feel safe, because it's like I was thinking the last few days I've been here, oh, this is so wonderful. I'm here by myself. There's no campers nearby. And other than somebody coming in for one night here and there, I've been pretty having this place to myself. That most of the campers seem to be over on the other side over there. And so I'm thinking, I love this because there's no one around. But last night when that happened, I'm thinking, geez, I wish there was people around me. I'd feel a lot safer. Safety in numbers, as they say. So it's a dichotomy, isn't it? It's like you want your safety, but if you're out there alone somewhere and somebody bothers you, I don't know. I know there's a lot of solo women out there. I've seen YouTubers that deal with this kind of stuff, and they don't let it get to them and they just carry on. But I'm at the age and have the disposition that something like this could really stress me out so much that it's like, this isn't worth it to me, This just isn't worth it. So far, with experiences I've had, and then last night, I'm beginning to wonder about whether or not getting out on the road full time is going to be the right thing for me. And I feel really sad about that, because I've had this dream for so long, and I'm not wanting to give it up. But it is discouraging for something like this to happen so quickly. because it makes me think, oh, this is more common than you would think, you know? It's probably a common issue. Now, I don't think that that guy was going to harm me or he was dangerous. I think he was actually, come to think of it, just looking to get some money from me. You know, a lot of times these panhandlers use that excuse, I just want to get home, I just want to get home, can you give me some funds so that I can get home? But what alarmed me is his doing this at 10:30 at night, which to me, that's a sign of somebody who's really not got good boundaries, shall we say. And I don't know if he was on drugs, which makes people really crazy. So, or drink. So I'm just gonna have to check in with my gut and see about whether or not I can really handle this, not only physically, but the stress of dealing with the unsafety factor. Certainly it's also making me rethink about whether or not, I should do a trailer, because if you want to make a quick exit, you have to get out of your rig to get in your car. But there's considerations with getting a Class C too. So I don't know. To be honest, I'm just discouraged. And I'm not sure what to do. I think I'm going to try and continue to stay in this campsite because I have my Yosemite trip already booked, and I'm so looking forward to that. I have 9 days more here, so can I get through the next 9 days? I don't know. If I feel unsafe, I may have to go stay at a hotel or motel until I can do Yosemite. So there you have it. I'm like, okay, so Victoria, you're dealing with the physicality of all the work that you have to do. Packing up, moving things around, bending over, lifting, trying to think of all the things you need to do and get done, and dealing with the solar panels and trying to get everything charged up so that I can work, and all of that. And then you're dealing with bug bites. I have my entire arm here is completely riddled with mosquito bites, and the bugs are getting into everything and everywhere. And then I've been having to deal with the heat and the cold. And I'm like, okay, so the best part of it is I'm here in nature and I have wonderful views, and I just love looking at these gorgeous views. And so I'm asking myself, is it worth all of the other things, discomfort that I'm going through? I haven't come to a clear answer on that yet. Okay, well, I'm going to think about things, but thought I'd share the honesty and truth of what I'm going through. Bye for now.